Okay, I'm going to show you some footage of just how a game could be manipulated, okay? And even though Georgia was the play on this one, okay, as you see this line flip, okay, this was a very difficult matchup to figure out, okay? And I personally think that this one could have went either way. This was one of those games where it was the public versus the sharp bettors, okay? And the sharp bettors were almost wrong on this matchup. Even though the books were getting even action on this game, very difficult to figure this matchup out, okay? And it took me a long time to actually figure this one out, okay? I ended up making a wager on Georgia, okay, because of this reason. And I'm going to explain that in a minute, okay? I did a lot of research on this game. And at first, you know, I was trying to figure out where the public was going, okay? And, you know, Baker Mayfield had the flu, okay? So that was like a bad sign, I thought, for Georgia, okay? Because usually when things like that occur, the quarterback steps up. You know, a lot of positives go against you. Uh, you know, when somebody has an illness or there's an injury or something like that, it works against you, okay? And the other team tends to step up and play at their best, okay? So that had a little bit of concern, you know, by taking Georgia here, okay? And but I did respect the fact that Oklahoma opened up as a 1 point favorite. Okay, so I knew they were the better team, and I was glad that it opened up as a 1 point favorite for Oklahoma because of the fact that they are better. So the book said, okay, they're better, and they're going to get more than enough action on Oklahoma. But then once I found out Baker Mayfield was, you know, he had the flu, he wasn't feeling good, then I thought, okay, maybe Oklahoma, maybe, you know, I was kind of going back and forth a little bit, and that kind of scared me. But I ended up, you know, going with the right side and taking Georgia. This line did flip, which had me a little concerned as well. But then I did realize that there was more than enough money on Oklahoma already, and then the sharp bettors were just betting on Georgia, and they flipped this line, and they made Georgia the favorite here. Okay, so and I also knew that Georgia had the best defense compared to Oklahoma, but whether you want to say that mattered or not, especially in these types of controlled games, it didn't really matter. But I did like the fact that Georgia had a better defense. Just gives me more reasons to take a side, even though I know the games are controlled anyways. But just gave me a better reason to believe in Georgia. And yeah, that blocked field goal at the end was definitely a big play here for Georgia to win this game. But either way, this game could have went either way. Still, I don't know how they controlled this game, this outcome in this one, but I think it was the public versus the sharp bettors, and I think that the sports books were just sitting back and collecting the vig, okay, because they had really no risk on this game. I think this game had even action up until game time. Okay, so Georgia definitely won this game 54-48. I'm going to show you some footage here where I think momentum was actually killed for Georgia, and this is why Georgia fell down and fell apart in the first half, okay? And if this one little play, this just shows you right here how these games can be controlled. If this one little thing did not happen, by the refs, okay, I feel that Georgia would have blew out Oklahoma, okay, and that is just by me researching these games and looking at tons of film and tons of games every day, and just analyzing all these games, okay. And these are the type of things that I don't think people notice, okay. There was a play in the first quarter, okay. Oklahoma was up 14-7. Everything was going back and forth at this point. Okay, Georgia was about to get a second touchdown, and I think this is what affected their momentum in this game. And I feel like if this did not happen, Georgia would have put Oklahoma away in the first half and would have won this game convincingly. But I think this threw them off their game a little bit by the refs doing this. And at this point, I thought that, okay, maybe this game is controlled for Oklahoma, okay? So take a look at how they manipulated this play here. Okay, so at this point, Georgia had a lot of momentum. They were going up the field, and they were just trading touchdowns with Oklahoma at this point, okay? Now, if you take a look at this next play, the ref, they're going to get a first down here, but then the next play, they did not get a first down, but then the refs ended up measuring and calling for a measurement, okay? And normally they do not do this on second down, okay? Because the game is played so fast. If you did that on every single play, the game would last like 4 or 5 hours, okay? And normally it's a judgment call, and they do not make this type of judgment play, okay? They would just call it second down and then move forward because of the fact that Georgia had so much momentum, and they don't want to stop that momentum. And by doing that, I think that's what killed their momentum. And if you notice what happened, I even called it. I was sitting with somebody and I said, okay, they're doing a measurement here. Georgia has all the momentum. Watch, they're not going to score, and they're not even going to get a first down after this play. And they did not do that. And he also missed a field goal. And then that is when Oklahoma started to go on a huge momentum, and that they got that big lead going into halftime. And then it was over from there. But then Georgia ended up obviously coming back and winning. So for whatever reason, I don't know if at this point, if the game was controlled for people in the end game, because a lot of people make other wagers during the game, at halftime. So who knows what it could have been, but this definitely affected the way Georgia played in the first half. So go ahead and take a look at the sequence here.
Scott, the Hall of Famer for Georgia, defensive back, and only 6 catches coming in, but already a few today.
I think he's probably athletically one of the more gifted tight ends. I know Nada gets a lot of recognition, but Warner, for a young guy at 6'5", 250, can do a lot of things. He can block and he can also catch. I thought Jake Fromm, again, play action on 1st and 10, keep those linebackers guessing, run versus pass, catching them out of position and picking up the first down.
And Cheney calling plays that lead to very short, comfortable throws for his quarterback. Checks it down again and dumps it short. And there's a catch made down inside of the 30-yard line.
He is now 4 of 5 on first down.
Okay, so I just want to stop the video because this is where they're going to bring in the measurement and measure it. Okay, so right now Georgia is moving the ball. Okay, they don't want momentum to be stopped. They don't want to slow the game down at this point. Okay, and after this measurement, they get stopped on second down. So check this out.
Down throws for 45 yards. I'm telling you, that is going to be a big theme tonight until Oklahoma backs up, until they start to respect his ability to throw. I don't blame Jim Cheney at all. I think you're have more of an advantage throwing on 1st and 10, and you can see all time he has, than waiting until 3rd down.
It's Tyler Simmons, who wears a couple of different jerseys, wearing 87 that time. They'll come and measure to see if that was first down yardage. Just about a few inches away on second down now.
See, there's really no reason to come in and measure there. You just make a judgment call and call it second down.
This one is developed in the first quarter.
So much momentum was lost here for Georgia, and there was no reason for it.
Maybe found some answers, and they're coming back.
And as you see in these next plays, they're not even going to move the ball. They won't move the ball, and they're going to miss the field goal.
Make some adjustments and just settle in, get a stop. Get some confidence on that side of the ball.
This Georgia offense looks plenty confident. It's shoved behind the physical fullback Christian Payne. See if they take a shot, needing just a few inches here on second down. Yep, they misfire. They want to make it 2nd and 5 now.
Yeah, Baker, the left guard.
Ball start, offense, number 65, 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
Junior out of Atlanta has improved a lot this year. Plays hard, but a little over-eager that time.
Jim Cheney telling us last night, of all of the guys up front, that Baker's probably improved the most. It was one of their bigger question marks when they moved Isaiah Wynn out to left tackle.
This Cheney, who also is the quarterback coach. Arkansas, Tennessee, most recently Pittsburgh.
Purdue, as you said earlier, with Drew Brees, Kyle Orton.
Chubb in the ball game. They flip it near side. This is Terry Godwin who makes his first catch, driven out right at the line of scrimmage by Parnell Motley, who's only 175, but played physical that time.
That's a run-pass option. It's been a bigger part of this offense, and that gives the quarterback a decision to make. If you want to run it, you run it. And if not, if you think you can get the ball on the outside, flip it out there. Goes back to his baseball days, like a sidearm, just a quick pitch out there to try to give you a better chance. But Oklahoma defends it pretty well. Tougher to do RPOs into the boundary where there's not as much room to run.
Dogs need 5 on 3rd down. They're in fringe field goal range for Blankenship at the moment.
He's the best pass rusher for the Sooners. That's Aronco.
They haven't pressured from yet. This time he backpedaled. They affect the throw. Flips it to Michelle, but the Sooners are all over the running back there. Motley made the tackle short of 1st down yardage.
We showed you before the snap, Okarampo. He actually fights through 2 offensive linemen. Great suddenness. An SEC type of defensive end. He gets through 2 offensive linemen, Cleveland and Andrew Thomas, the true freshman. And he didn't get to him for the sack, but he forces him to have to throw the ball earlier than he wanted to and allows the defense to rally to the ball.
So here comes Rodrigo Blankenship, nickname of Hot Rod since he was a child. This is just a yard short of his career long. This from 48. Drives it, but it drifts and misses.
So as you see there, guys, you see that? You see how a game could be manipulated? Those type of wrinkles people don't notice, okay? But those things mean a lot in these games, okay? And you saw that it was 2nd and 1. They get a false start right after those chains come in. They can't even move the ball. They kick the field goal and they miss it, okay? At that point, Oklahoma had all the momentum. That's when they went up. So that one play right there, by them coming in, checking to see, oh, did he get the 1st down? That killed all the momentum for Georgia. I'm glad they came back and won because of the fact that Georgia was the right side, okay? But for whatever reason, they were keeping Oklahoma in that game, okay? So I don't know if people were making money during that time. They were betting the in-game. But I know a lot of action was, exchanging hands during that time because of in-game wagering and also first half betting. Who knows what it was, but the fact of the matter is that is how a game is controlled, okay? That little sequence right there affected the whole entire game. But Georgia did end up coming back and pulling it out. So just wanted to show you that little footage right there. So keep an eye on these games, keep studying these games, and I'll be back with some more videos.